work. It does. Well, guys, good to see y'all. I'm excited because today, this is the first time I've ever been at the Philly regional meeting. And I've got a question for you guys, because the only other regional meeting I've been at was the Chicago one. So my question to you guys is, which group of people is better? Is it the Chicago or is it the Philly? That's all right. Good to hear. I remember last time I spoke, I was really excited, right? And right before I went up on stage, right? Like Jacob Klein was introducing me, like 30 seconds before I went up on stage, Mike T pulls me aside. He's like, "Hey Jordan, real quick, don't choke." Freaked me out, man. I was so nervous. I started walking up, people started clapping, right? I'm like, am I walking weird? Am I like turned back too far, right? But it's okay, I made it through. I was like, all right, this time's gonna be different. This time's gonna be different. Mike T's not here. All right? Right? And I'm safe, okay? But lo and behold, Mr. Adam Gerald said the exact same thing to me just a couple minutes ago, saying, "Hey Jordan, real quick, don't choke," right? So Adam, I'm not sure where you're at right now, but if I mess up, it's your fault. All right, for sure. Okay, guys, so today I get to talk about compliance. Right now, originally, the title was going to be just compliance, right? But that's no fun. So we decided to put $1 billion up there because everybody likes to see $1 billion, right? So today we're going to be talking about $1 billion compliance. But the first thing we've got to do is we got to put some things in perspective, all right? We got to put some things into perspective. So today I decided to bring up on stage something extremely valuable. This $1 bill. All right, this $1 bill. Now, if I were to take this $1 bill, and if I were to lay it flat, and then add another $1 bill on top of it, and another $1 bill on top of it, and another one, and added it up to $1 million, right, it probably would fall over, right? So I laid it down, okay? And I have all this $1 million laid down on the ground. How long do you think it would stretch? How many feet? Any guesses out there? Any guesses on how many feet would it stretch? Would it like be from there to like here? Right? To like, all the way to the other side? I'm talking like the whole room. Alright, I don't understand anything you guys are saying. But the answer is, if I can figure out this computer a little bit, an entire football field. An entire football field, that's 360 feet. It would take me a solid minute 40 seconds of a brisk pace to walk across that thing. Like a minute 40 seconds? You have any idea how long a minute 40 seconds is? Sure you guys do, right? You guys know what a turnburn is, right? You guys waited for a minute 40 seconds for a turnburn? Right, anybody? Not just me? Really? Really? That's okay. But a minute 40 seconds of walking straight before I've reached the end of that. I think you guys call it the fat stack. Is that what you guys call it, the fat stack? Right? So I reached the end of that fat stack. But if I were to take, instead of 1 million $1 bills, but add it onto 1 billion $1 bills, what's the difference? How many feet? 100 feet? 1,000 feet? 1,000 football fields. Yeah, whoever did that, the mathematician. All right, nice job. Very good. Still my thunder. That's okay. No, you're absolutely right. It'd be 1,000 football fields, or from here all the way to the ocean, or 68 miles. 68 miles. That's that'd take a long time to walk, right? It'd take around 22 solid hours of just straight like walking real quick. Okay. The difference between $1 million and $1 billion is huge. So when we start talking about these $1 billion companies that we represent, like, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And today, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So first question, how many of you guys went to college? Raise your hand. Oh shoot, okay. And we got a sharp group of individuals, that's great. I never went to college, right? Never led a box of rocks, but that's okay. All right, how many of you guys took a business class when you were at this college? All right, okay, cool. How many of you guys took a marketing class? All right, cool. Cool, real quick, what's your name? I'm sorry, Kimberly? Kimberly, cool. When you were at this business class that you took, did you ever talk about the number one largest company in the world? Number one largest business? No, okay. I feel like going to a business class, we should probably study the number one largest business of all time. Does anybody have a guess as to who the number one largest company in the world, like on the face of the earth? I'm sorry, I heard what? You're absolutely right. Walmart. Sam's Club Walmart is the #1 largest company on the face of the earth. They're sitting at #1 with an annual revenue of $550 billion. That's a lot of miles. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a lot of miles, right? We get to stand inside the stores, at least for the retail, right? We get to stand inside those stores every single day. That is a privilege to be in some of these huge, massive retailers, right? Now, the cool thing is, does anybody know who the #1 largest telecommunication carrier is? Yeah, it's AT&T. Real quick, all of you guys who represent Verizon, raise your hands. How's it feel being second best, right? It's great. All right, just making sure. All right, no. But let's get real here. So the next question we gotta ask ourselves is, why the heck is Sam's Walmart the #1 largest company in the world? Like, holy cow, what are they doing that's so special? Is it because they're like everywhere? Right? No, that can't be it, because I mean, Dollar General is in more places than Sam's Club Walmart. So the next question is, because they have so many products? Well, I mean, like Amazon probably has more. And Sam's Club Walmart is bigger than both Facebook and Amazon combined, which is that's a weird fact, right? That's pretty crazy. So the #1 reason why Sam's Club Walmart is the largest company, and it has been for years, is because they manage every aspect of their business, all the way down to things like the manufacturer, okay, the warehouse, the shipping, right, the distribution centers, the retail, the labor, everything is Sam's Club Walmart. So if the #1 reason why Sam's Club Walmart is so big is because they manage every aspect of their business, then why the heck are they having us do it? Like, why the heck are they having us manage their marketing? Right? We're standing inside their stores. That's like throwing out the reason why they're so big. Right? That's like McDonald's throwing out the Big Mac. Right? That's why they're so well known. Right? So the #1 reason why Sam's Club Walmart chooses us to do the marketing for them and them not do it themselves is because we're the best. We are the absolute best. There's not a company out there. Yeah, for sure. There's not a company out there that comes even close to the quality of labor that we deliver every single day. Case in point. So back in 2017, Sam's Club Walmart had a big problem on their hands. And a really big problem on their hands. They had a small product inside their stores on their shelves. You guys might have heard of this product before. Correct me if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. I think it's called Apple? You guys heard of that? You guys heard of that company before? Okay, cool. All right, so Apple was inside of Sam's Club Walmart, right? And Apple came to Sam's Club Walmart and they said, hey, listen, we're coming out with new product every single year, and you're just not selling our old product quick enough. In fact, we have our old product sitting inside of your warehouses right now just collecting dust. So we're starting to lose money by having our stuff in your stores. So if you don't get your act together, we're going to pull all of our stuff out and go elsewhere. So Sam's Club Walmart, they're freaking out. They're like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? We can't lose Apple. I mean, they make up 0.5% of our revenue, and 0.5% of their annual $550 billion is like, carry the 3, a lot. It's a lot, all right? Just know it's a lot. Okay, so they're doing everything they can to sell more Apple product, but it's not working. So we came up and we raised our hand. We said, hey, Sam's Club Walmart, come here. Right? And we got something for you. We said, all right, just give us the opportunity to stand inside your stores. They looked at us and they said, all right, well, prove to us that you're the best. We said, okay, we can do that. Right? So guys, we stood inside their stores for a single month. In a month's time, we increased the revenue their Apple sales generated by well over 0% of what they were doing before. That is 2,000% or over 20 times the revenue that Sam's Club Walmart was generating. When I say that we're the best at what it is that we do, I'm not joking. But the thing is, it never just ends there. Because of the quality of labor that we were delivering to Sam's Club Walmart every single day, other companies like BJ's or Target's or Myers or Menards, they all looked at Sam's Club Walmart and said, holy cow, how are you selling so many Apple products? Oh, it's because you're using them for your marketing. Well, then can you guys do that for us, right? So now we're just exploding with all this growth. But at the end of the day, the biggest reason why we're doing it and gentlemen, sometimes it's easy to forget that we're representing multi-billion-dollar companies inside of multi-billion-dollar companies. So, today, I want to talk about billion-dollar compliance. Billion-dollar compliance. So, the first question is, why is it so important? I'm sure you guys, or at least the majority of you guys, have heard, without compliance, we have no clients, right? Probably. But at the end of the day, what does that billion-dollar compliance look like? Well, we'll start off with dress code. We'll start off with dress code. How many of you guys have friends? How many of you guys have friends? Now put your hands down. You don't have friends. Yeah. It's all right. No. How many of you guys have decided to go out with your friends, but before you decided to go out with your friends, you decided to dress up? Like, you decided to look good. You spent an hour long on your hair, right, making sure everything was, looking pristine on your way out. You pass by a mirror, you see yourself, you're like, whew, okay, I look good today, right? How did you carry yourself the entire time you were with your family? Or excuse me, the entire time you were with your friends? Right? You probably carried yourself way up here. You're confident, I heard. Yeah, you're absolutely right, because you felt good. It's the same thing when we're representing these massive clients. Right? I don't believe in having an untucked shirt when we're standing inside of a billion-dollar company, inside of the largest company in the world. All right? I don't believe in having a wrinkly shirt when we're standing there. Right? I remember... All right, I'm going to tell you guys a story. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm going to tell it anyway. All right? Because I've got the microphone. So, I remember when I was a rep, I was excited about, representing, the clients as good as I can. I'd show up and, suit, tie, I'd stand inside those retailers with a suit, tie, making sure that I looked good. And as Jeremy said, I got promoted during COVID. So when I was rep, it was during COVID when we all had to wear masks and stuff, right? And even though we wore masks, I still wanted to make sure that I was chewing gum so that if a customer smelled my breath, it would still be fresh, right? Minty fresh, okay? But here's the thing. It was early in the morning. It was like 11:15. I'd already done 2 pitches. All right, 11:30 rolls around and I realize, where's my gum? What happened? Right, so I started freaking out. Like, feeling inside my mask. Where's it at? Did I swallow it? I have no idea. Right, so, okay, well, I'm just going to continue pitching, right, because I need to do that. So I pitched the entire day. Right, the entire day. And finally, it's like 3 o'clock, right? 3:30, 3:30, 4 o'clock, right? I decided, man, I got to use the bathroom really quick, right? I don't want to miss anybody, but I got to. So I walk in the bathroom, right? I use the bathroom, and I go out to wash my hands, look at myself in the mirror. This entire time, that piece of gum was like sticking to the outside of my mask while I was talking to every single customer. And nobody told me. I signed up like 3 customers, and no one decided that they were going to tell me that I had a piece of gum stuck. Yeah, so billion-dollar, image, okay? All right, gum stuck to your mask. But at the end of the day, that image is important because it matters how you feel. It matters how confident that you are when you're talking with customers. Even though I had gum sticking on the outside of my mask, you better believe I was confident in that suit and tie, okay? But the next thing that it looks like, keeping your kiosk clean, or excuse me, professional conversation. It's different on my paper than it is up there. Professional conversation. Oh, this is the best. Oh, yeah, okay. Right, making sure, obviously, when we're working with somebody that we're not talking about stuff that we shouldn't be talking about, right? We're not swearing when we're talking with customers. I think it's pretty obvious for you guys to know, we can't, curse when we're talking with customers, right? I hope so. But at the end of the day, making sure that we're talking about positive things, because not only is that going to matter when employees are walking by and when customers are walking by, but it helps our own attitude, right? We've got to make sure that we, pace ourselves throughout the whole day, too. Make sure that we're drinking water. Because, at the end of the day, your words start to stumble a little bit, right? I had this guy. I'm going to tell the story, too, all right? We have time. So, I had this guy who was driving by in one of those little go-karts, right? It stands for Walmart. And, I like to drive around with them. And I always say, when people drive by in those, I say, whoa. Keep that thing under 90, right? Gets a little chuckle from him, right? So I said it to this guy. I said, whoa, keep that thing under 90, right? He looks at me and he says, I used to be a racer, right? I was like, I didn't quite register what he said. I didn't quite hear it. And I didn't want to be rude, right? In a professional conversation, I got to make sure that I'm kind to customers. And I said, I'm sorry, what did you say? Right? He was still driving by when I asked him. right? He said, he looks over his shoulder while he's still going, I used to be a race car driver, right? And then it registered, it clicked. I said, oh, he said racer, but real quick, guys, I had been pitching the entire day, hadn't drunk much water, my words weren't quite coming out too well, so I yelled clear across this store in front of everybody, oh, you're a racist. I meant to say racer, I really did, right? I really did, but no, I yelled across the whole store. I felt so bad. I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry, racer. That professional conversation, yeah, it's important, okay? I mean, it's important. I don't know how else to give it to you guys, right? You know, especially when we're talking about like aggressive sales, we're not those pushy car salesmen, all right? We don't need that crutch, okay? We're the best of the best without it. Right? It's not okay to ask over and over and over and over and over again and chase those customers down throughout the entire store. Like, that's not okay. I know in my office it's a staple. Like, the people in my office aren't allowed to take even so much as a single step forward towards a customer. Right? We keep our feet planted. In our opinion, it's kind of like cheating. Right? If you walk up and go, hey, real quick, right now. How's it going today, man? Hey, you live in a house or an apartment, right? That was the old Vivid campaign. Whew. So long ago. Right? But that professional conversation, that's important. Next one, kiosk care. Kiosk care. Yeah, you know, make sure they don't have like food and drinks and, you know, papers all strewn around. Okay, I think that's pretty simple. You know, again, we're representing those massive companies. Next one is the wrap up. Right? You know, when you finish talking with a customer, how many of you guys have ever felt after you helped out a customer and then they left and you started thinking, man, I hope they knew what they signed up for. Yeah, man, I feel like I probably could have said some things that they're going to find out in a couple days, right? Yeah, that's not good, okay, right? You shouldn't feel that way. After every single conversation, after every single sale, you should feel good about it, right? You should feel good about it. I know with Inspire or just Energy, you know, we got to make sure that we let the customers know that the gift card's going to take 90 days, right? I mean, that's just given. They also need to know that they just switched their supplier, right? You know, they've got to know these things, that this isn't some savings program, right? Same thing with AT&T, we've got to make sure that we let them know that their first bill is going to be ginormous, all right? Yeah, sure, the third bill is going to even it out. Yeah, but that first bill is going to be pretty big, right? Because that's going to help out with churn, that's going to help out with our reputation, because the worst thing that you want to have happen is another customer that comes back to the store with their little bill, right? Setting it down, you told me it was going to be $100. Like, what's up with this, okay? You know, making sure that we wrap things up properly. Last one. This is a big one. On time. Telematics. AT&T, Inspire, Just Energy, all the other companies that we represent, they have invested millions of dollars into this program. So they want to make sure that we are where we said we were going to be when we said we were going to be there. Right? So if we tell a multi-billion-dollar company that we're going to be inside your store at 11 o'clock, we best be there. We best be there. And if we tell them we're going to stay the entire day until 7, we best do that. Right? So I know now with telematics we have to make sure that we keep the GPS on, all right, the whole time. Okay, that we don't leave the store because there's that ping, right? That ping every 70 minutes. Right? Guys, I get it. Like at the end of the day, this stuff, it can get boring. It's not the most entertaining, the most interesting thing to talk about it, but this is the kind of thing that takes us from just $1 million company to $1 billion. Now, you guys all know that the difference between $1 million and $1 billion is 86 miles. Yeah, that one. The difference is 68 miles. So the question is, which one of you guys is going to go the extra mile? That's all that I had for today, guys. Thank you so much.